Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with another old school RuneScape video about whether or not these Daeyalt shards are worth it or not. If you're not aware, the Daeyalt shards and Essence are essentially a boosted form of rune crafting. They give you 50% more XP every time you craft a rune at an altar. They can't be used at Bloods or Souls though, and that's the usefulness of them. They boost your XP whenever you use them. However, it does take time to go ahead and get these shards, and that's what we'll be comparing today, whether or not that time spent getting the shards is going to be worth it or not for you. So, as far as where you need to be and what you need, I'm in the middle of Darkmire, I guess the southern part of it, right here next to this dungeon. That's where you mine them at. The bank is over there if you need a bank, and I teleported here with my medallion. So, you need 60 mining to be able to mine the essence, and on top of that, you need Sins of the Father completed to access this area. So, that's really it as far as the basic info. Going down the stairs now, though, we'll see what this room is all about. Basically, it is 3 essence mines that you can go to, 3 little pillars that you can mine from, and it just sorts randomly between the 3 every 15 to 30 seconds. It'll just bounce around, and that's what keeps you active and not fully AFK. It is moderately AFK, it's not insanely AFK, so it really is just up to whether or not this fits into what you're trying to do. You know, maybe you have some sort of job where you can look at your phone every 30 seconds, and you could just mine a bunch of essence during the day. Obviously not for everyone, but that's what we're going to have to consider for this. At the end of the day, I'll warn you right now, it's not meta to do this at all. It can be close in a sense, but really, lava rune crafting is always going to be the best way to rune craft, at least for a long time, because people are scared of rune crafting boost. And that's, I mean, it's understandable. It's one of the few skills that is actually a test of strength in this game. So yeah, spoiler now, it's not meta. However, it is moderately worth it depending on if you can fit this into your schedule. If you kind of want something to do on the side, it can be okay. So some things to consider whenever doing this. Your GP per hour will go down if you're doing rune crafting, because obviously you're adding hours of, mining into that. So that naturally is just going to take away from your GP that you're gaining, because you don't get more runes or anything when you craft them. You get the same amount of runes, you just get more XP. In addition to that, lava runes, which are like the meta rune crafting method if you're not trading alts and doing stuff like that. Even then, I guess it is still. But lava runes are kind of one that's quick from a bank sense. It doesn't take too long to get to the altar, and that's why it is a good method, which also means lava runes are where you're going to use the most amount of essence, which isn't necessarily a good thing when it comes to this, because that means the more time you're going to have to mine. And also, before we get on into it, to turn the shards into essence, you just got to talk to this person over here. I had a tough time finding her the first time, so figured I would throw that out there for you. But like I said a second ago, this isn't going to be meta, and you're going to want to weight this depending on whether or not you think it is worth it towards your gameplay style. That's basically it. Let's go ahead and get on into the rates that I was able to find and get more into the numbers. As far as the mining rates of this essence, you can mine 4.4 thousand of them an hour if you're very active. That's probably about what it caps out at. I mean, you get 2 to 3 every time. There's not a whole lot of variance there. And the mining XP per hour is about 9k. Depending on, I guess, your prospector setup and whatnot, but it wouldn't change too much either way. So 9k mining XP an hour, obviously not great, but it's still passive XP that I'm not going to consider in the rune crafting rates. So if you care at all about that 9k mining XP, then that is a side factor that you can consider. And now we'll look at using this essence at 3 different areas. I'll go first into lavas, then ZMI, and then astrals. It gives us a mix of meta. ZMI is probably the most useful place for these essence because it's so far from a bank that you don't use as many an hour. And then astrals are a money-making route about rune crafting that's also pretty decent XP. So we got a good mix of everything that I would like to cover, and let's get started. With lava runes, the XP per hour before using these essence, I guess, or just using regular pure essence, comes out to 65k an hour. You can get higher than that, but that's, kind of elite skiller status, I guess. So 65k with pure essence, while with the new essence, you can get 97k XP per hour, which obviously is a jump up a decent bit, usually about 50%. However, the problem here is the amount of essence you use per hour with lava runes is 6.2 thousand, near around that, which means you're going to have to do about an hour and 20 minutes of mining the essence to do that hour of rune crafting, which ultimately means that your theoretical XP rate, if you combined your mining time with your rune crafting time, comes out to 40.2k runecrafting XP per hour. You can compare 97k to 65k if you want, or you can compare 65k to 40.2k, which I think is the more true comparison. If you don't value the essence as almost any time of your own, because maybe you're doing it on the side like I mentioned earlier, then obviously 97 is much better than 65. But if you don't necessarily want to AFK, then you're going to be closer to that 40k an hour, and that's what really matters to you. Now moving on to ZMI, the XP per hour using regular pure essence, and granted this is at 90 plus rune crafting, the rates scaled down, but you get the general idea. So 48k per hour with regular pure essence, and then with a new Daeyalt Essence, it can actually get up to 73k XP per hour, which is, I mean, not bad for ZMI, honestly. ZMI is pretty easy, and if you follow people, it can be kind of AFK. And this is where ZMI kind of shines, because the essence used per hour is actually only 3.5k, which is well under the 4,400 that you could get per hour. So you're not necessarily spending an hour mining for every hour you're doing rune crafting. Like with lavas, you were doing well over an hour of mining compared to the hour of rune crafting. So this means that your theoretical XP rate of your new essence is actually at 40.5k. The one thing you do have to consider with ZMI though is it will cut back the amount of money you make by 44%. So if for the higher levels you're making close to 750k per hour, now you'll be making 420k per hour in the long run. That's basically just adding in the hours of mining that you make nothing for and evening it out. So comparing 73 to 48, obviously a significant increase, and comparing 48 to 40.5 honestly isn't that much of a difference. So if you're someone that moderately likes ZMI, this makes a decent amount of sense. And then finally, looking at Astrals, which is moderately good at both the GP and XP. The XP per hour with regular essence is 35k, while the XP per hour with the new essence is 52k XP per hour. And the amount of essence used here isn't that much of an increase from ZMI. It's only 4,000, so still a little less than an hour of mining will get you an hour of Astral rune crafting. And this takes us to the theoretical XP rate of the new essence, which comes out to 27.2k. Again, comparing that to 35k, it's not that bad. Obviously, it is a downgrade, but again, this all just comes back to how you value that AFK time and if it's worth it for you. So, in addition with the Astrals, it cuts your profit by 45%. So again, Astrals being a lot better for money making, that's going to take a bigger hit. If you were making 520k, only making single Astrals, or if you're making 1.1 mil making doubles, keep in mind these numbers are pretty low because Astrals have just fallen off a cliff price-wise lately. Now you'd only be making 286k per hour or 605k per hour, depending on if you're doing singles or double Astrals. So cuts back your profit a lot. So honestly, and so we'll end off the video ranking where I think this is actually useful. ZMI, I think, ranks first. It's moderately comparable XP per hour wise, even considering you're mining it. So if you don't really care that much about spending an hour AFK, or maybe you need to and would like something to do on the side, ZMI is a great way to use these essence. And then lava runes will slot in at number 2. I think they're definitely better than Astrals, but it's just a really weird spot. It's almost not worth it at all to go out of your way for the essence, but if you already have the essence and you don't mind doing lava runes, obviously is a good application of them. So not something I would do, but if you're in the situation, it's not too bad. And then finally, Astrals are, I think, the worst way to use them, or at any profitable rune, because you're just cutting back so much into the profit and you're not really getting that much of a boost XP per hour wise that I just don't think that it's going to be worth it in the long run. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Typically, I like to have like solid concrete answers to these is it worth it videos. And I mean, I guess I do have it. Like, the essence are not worth it at all. If you're considering that you're purely focused on one account the entire day, there's no reason you should come here and mine. But I would never want that to be the case. I don't want meta rune crafting to involve mining random essence. What it is good for is people that are AFKing, but not AFKing too hard to the point to where, you know, they can still click and still be active. If you need something that's just kind of passive, you want to help boost your rune crafting, it looks moderately worth it at stuff like ZMI and maybe even lava runes. But for anything profitable, it's not going to be worth it at all. And so honestly, it's kind of up to you. I'm personally not going to be here doing anything because I think blood runes and souls are probably just a better way to go with my time. But if you find souls or bloods can't fit into your AFK meta, or maybe, you know, you're below 77 rune crafting, then this is a decent alternative. And honestly, I like where it fits in the game. I think it has a solid spot that isn't too good, but isn't too bad to the point to where you wouldn't want to come here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to tell me, let me know in a comment down below. And on top of that, if you want to see more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. And with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and see ya.